Hello, welcome to the Green Machine Live. Dave, your host, and we are live. We are live here from Lansdowne Road. The Republic of Ireland get their European qualification off the mark today against France, the third best team in the world according to the FIFA rankings. The World Cup runners-up, and they're playing the Republic of Ireland, who are 48th. Well, it's going to be an interesting one tonight, shall we say. If you have any thoughts on the game, we're going to be here with you for about 15, 20 minutes before we sign off and get you guys ready to get your popcorn and get your coffee drinks in if you're here at the stadium, or to quickly run to the toilet. We will be back for a post-match reaction about 5 minutes or so after the final whistle. But here we are now anyway. We've got the team. Oh, and by the way, have your say, leave a comment and get involved down there. Usual rules apply. So the team has been announced by Stephen Kenny. It's not really... It's to be expected. Going to run that down the bottom. Let's have a look at the graphic just released by the FAI here. And give me a second. There we go. So in goal, we have Gavin Mazzuni. No shock there. We did announce beforehand that Seamus Cohen returned as captain. Number 2 there. John O'Shea. Darragh O'Shea returns. John Egan. And you got Nathan Collins in defence. As left wing back, I presume you're going to have Matt Doherty. And we've gone for the Holy Trinity in the midfield with Josh Cullen returns, thank God. And he will have Jason Malumbi and Jason Knight in front of him. And up front, we have the competitive debut of Evan Ferguson, and Kyosi Ogbeni actually makes a start for once, which is a little bit strange. Normally he has a super sub, but there you are. And just in case you're wondering, folks, so Evan Ferguson... On a slight chance he was going to play for England. Now he can't. Are you happy now for those 2% of Irish fans out there that was worried he was going to go with the 3 lines? We got some comments coming in there. Keep them coming. We will get to those at some point. But tell us what your thoughts are. Give us your score prediction. How do you think we're going to fare against a bloody good France team? We're just, at the moment, it's a little bit nippy, but it's fair. Nice conditions, very low chance of rain. Building up nicely on my way into the ground today. I always get here nice and early. The pubs were packed. Around about the same time for Latvia, Nick and myself had a nice pint, and there was hardly anybody out and about. So I reckon it's going to be a cracking atmosphere here tonight in the Aviva. We've just got just over an hour and 5 minutes to kick off anyway. So it's going to need to be a cracking atmosphere anyway. So as we've mentioned, Coleman back as captain, but just some facts for here with the game. We have a Portuguese team here today. Arthur Diaz is the referee, so that's going to be interesting. As we mentioned at the top of the programme, France are 3rd in the world, Ireland are 48th. Ireland haven't beaten the French in 7 games since that famous 3-2 win in 1981 in a World Cup 82 qualifier in Lansdowne Road. And, I suppose if you don't count the handball, I mean, technically we won that game 1-0, but it did go to extra time. So, this is France's 3rd away game against Ireland this century. Of course, the last 2 was the first one, 2005, Henry goal here in Lansdowne Road, and that very end over there. Roy Keane's last game last game for Ireland. And then, of course, after that was the playoff. The first leg playoff, which of course led to the second leg against the handball. It was actually the last time I've seen Ireland play France live. It was in Paris on that famous night. So there you have it. France have lost just 3 of the last 29 qualifying games for major tournaments, winning 18 and drawing 8. And Kylian Mbappe, the main man himself, has scored 38 goals for France. He's only 24 and the owner of Paris Saint-Germain. So there you have it. This is going to be one serious ask here for Stephen Kenny's men, who, in my opinion, had a very unconvincing win against Latvia, 3-2 here on Wednesday. Not the best way to prepare. Just going into it, actually, as I always do, I always like to buy the Irish Daily Star. And Eamon Dunphy, as you can see there, had a few things to say on his article. Second, where is it now? He reckons French arrogance may stand well to Kenny. There you go. Not sure they're quite appropriate comments in this day and age, but just taking some notes from it there. He feels that the French may underestimate the Irish, to have a fatal French flaw, arrogance and complacency. Not my words, the words of Eamon Dunphy. We have a chance because the French have lost to Denmark in the Nations League and we're on Denmark's level. Not sure that qualifies really. Not sure that qualifies as a stat that will means anything, but whatever. Eamon Dunphy says that he is baffled by Kenny's approach to Latvia. He did feel that we should have played our strongest team because they would have been able to, he would have been able to play 2 games in a week just to have a run out. Well, he didn't. He played a very experimental side, much different to tonight. So he wasn't pleased about that. He feels there's actually an own goal, the amount of changes. He really wanted to see Bazunu play because, he's going to play tonight, as we all thought. And he also did mention a very interesting stat, that Ireland have conceded 9 long-range efforts since 2021. And that has been a massive problem. It was a problem against Latvia the other night, where a simple ball over the top just seemed to cause us lots of problems. And yes, we conceded from long range again. Gallagher, in my opinion, should have done better. He also feels that Ireland are not compact enough, which is something I do have to agree with. Because if you're compact, you don't get the long shots in. Simple as that. He also wants our wing-backs to get forward. Probably why Callum O'Dowd isn't in the team. And he feels it will be the best atmosphere in years. I think so too. I think it's going to be a great night. We're very early into it now, but it's starting to fill up very, very nicely. So really looking forward to this. To be fair, in my opinion, I think this is going to be a free hit for Stephen Kenny. If we keep it on a 4-0, I think, it's a free hit. This is France. This isn't like Germany back in 2015 when we had a slew of retirements after they won the World Cup the previous year in Brazil. This is a France team. This is a quality France team in their prime, playing great football. They lost out in the World Cup last year on penalties. He's one of the best players in the game at the moment, and he's on form. So we are really going to have a perfect game here tonight, in my opinion, and it's going to be very, very difficult. Hopefully we'll get behind the team. We'll have one of those memorable days here in Lansdowne Road, but I just can't see how it's going to happen, to be honest. We're going to need a perfect game. I don't want to sound downbeat, but I just got to be honest with you. Speaking of the manager, he has written some program notes here, as we got here. €7, card only, by the way, in case you're wondering. So we've got the notes here from the manager on page 7 or 6, and just some notes here. Doesn't really say too much. Bear with me. He feels France are the most successful team in the world in the last 8 years. He's not wrong there. Of course, they were the world champions in 2018 in Russia. He's very proud of the setup with the unprecedented number of players coming through the system to play for Ireland. He feels delighted with the starting debuts of Evan Ferguson and Will Smallbone and the debut of Michael Johnson. He did impress, to be fair, when he came on here on Wednesday. He also mentions that you can feel the connection between the players and the fans, and it's real. Stephen Kenny was over at Blanchardstown at the Crisk Awards. I'm just going to show you actually some pictures here. That's myself, Martin, and Nick meeting the manager there. It was a lovely night, actually. Really, really enjoyed it. But he spoke very passionately, and he has mentioned that we need to have fire and ice if we're going to play. We need to show fire, and we need to be calm if we're going to get a result here tonight. Back to his message. He feels his players have shown a consistently high technical level and confidence in possession. That is something he has changed, I suppose, and he believes the attitudes of the players have been first class. Well, they're going to need to be really, really first class, and that's the warning. 60 minutes to kick off here. We are 60 minutes away from the start of Ireland's 2024 Euro 2024 qualifying campaign. Right, and also, if you have a look, actually, we're going to get to the comments first. and see what you think. As always, lads, we want you to get involved. We try to be Ireland's most interactive podcast. Darrell O'Connor on the darts on the way in, lads. How you doing, Darrell? As always, on our YouTube page. John Griffith with nothing to say. Fair enough, John. Is that a protest? Darrell O'Connor again. For me, I'd have picked Smallbone overnight. Yeah, it's an interesting one. He didn't do himself any harm, but you'd imagine that Will Smallbone will play tonight at some stage. Darrell O'Connor, happy enough with it otherwise. I don't think it's not a terrible team. Never get the badge in, always get the lanyard in. Haha. Yeah, it's actually it's not me. I don't know what's going on. Trevor Doherty, 1-1, nice 1-1 draw, nice lineup. Yeah, well, as I said, we're going to need to be on the ball here tonight, Trevor. Kieran Boyle over in Florida. Hope you're watching, lads. We're having a sneaky watch while at work. It's live on Fox Sports. I'd like to think 1-1, but a combo of Poxy Castori jerseys and the suspect defense. I'd say France 4-1. Fair enough. Kieran, how are you doing? Paul Culleton, great idea for a show day before and after the match. Stephen Kenny has not lost a competitive game by more than one goal. Hoping tonight we can get another famous 1-1 win. We take it. 100% we take it. And Paul Culleton again. I haven't seen you on the pod, actually, Paul. Welcome back. Benny will be very important tonight. His pace when we're attacking and when we're defending, making up an extra number in midfield and possibly coming a 5-4-1. Benny, I'd have him on the bench. But he's never really done it when he started, but he's more of an impact player. By his pace, when he came out, Michael Johnson, he completely turned the game in Ireland's favour against Latvia. It'll be interesting. Guys, if you have anything more to say, we're going to be around for about about 5 minutes anyway. And then I'm going to get set up. Got my M&Ms. €4 for them, by the way, in Spencer Dock. €4. Get those for a quid back in London. Anyway. And speaking of the programme, actually, we have a little treat for you here. If you go to page 19, you see there? Yet again, they have allowed me to write a match day programme article. And it's about the time when, well, the headline at the time was Jack's All-Ireland champions. And that's when we hammered Northern Ireland in 1993, the 1st of April. I think it's actually the 31st of March, but okay. In 1993. And I've actually got a little highlight package. Those of you who might be a bit too young to remember this, but here we are. It was the USA 94 campaign. And I actually had the afternoon from school because we were allowed, our principal, Pat Burke-Walsh, if you're watching, Neilstown. And basically, you had to get the day off early because we had no floodlights until 1994 in the stadium, believe it or not. So here it is. Here's a little highlight package. The goals. We beat Northern Ireland 3-0. Have a look at this.
On to Irwin. Forward to the captain. And a little layoff. Oh, to goal! And a splendid goal as well by Andy Townsend. The Irish buzzing. Out and plays it into Quinn. A superb finish. Problems for him. This will be carried in by Staunton and an in-swinger. Oh, it's gone in! A combination of errors, but no one in Dublin really minds.
It's mad actually watching that, and I'm looking over there. That's where it happened over there, and it looks very, very different. The North Stand. Yeah, I remember that. Halcyon days of the Charlton era. He actually, funny enough, we were 48 in the world. We were 6th in the world for that game. The rankings had come out in December 1992, and we were still number 6 in the world. How different it was. But that was a great game. I remember actually shouting up to my mum. She was upstairs and going, "Man, it's 1-0. Oh, brilliant. Man, it's 2-0. Oh, brilliant. Man, it's 3-0. It's like, what's going on?" It was probably one of the most dominant performances. Anyway, I write about it there. It's page 19 of your match day programme. So, guys, a couple of more questions, and then I'm going to leave you to it. Jerry Darcy, 2-1 to France, but a good Irish performance, a good experience for the younger lads. That's what I'm saying, Jerry. I think it's a fair swing. Look, if it's if it's an encouraging performance, I think that's the best we can hope here. And I'm not in for that like world champions or moral victories and all that kind of stuff. But this is a top France team. You know, it could happen. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but this is a very, very impressive France side here, and we're going to need everything here. But you never know. A draw, something encouraging. As long as we don't get anything like as long as it's not like 4, 5, 6, 7-0, I think it's a free swing for the manager, and that's just what it's about. France are going to win the group. Battered Netherlands the other day 4-0, although that was a terrible Dutch side. It's between us and the Dutch for second place, let's be honest. So, what can you do? Brandon Walsh, Parrott not in the squad, a bit of a strange decision. Yep. Parrott, Brady was called up, wasn't in the squad. Colin Medella wasn't in the squad. Don't know what happened. No news there. If anyone can enlighten us. Sorry, just have a message there from Mark Prendergast. Look right sexy Dave, behind the goal. Your level gives a wave. There he is. How are you, Martin? And Keane beside. Hello, Keane. Sorry, just getting the waves there. In Martin, of course, actually met Vera Powell earlier today. Of course he did. He always does. How are you doing, Martin? But yeah, sorry, just going back to Brandon's point there. Yeah, not in the squad. Mad decision. Don't know what's happened there. Darrell O'Connor on a YouTube channel. Looking forward to reading a piece today. Buzzing for this now atmosphere picking up on the dart. Yeah, it is. It's going to be a cracking atmosphere. I think we really just want to get into them. You know, I think someone said, like, Mark Overmars, you know, Roy Keane, Mark Overmars, 2001. I think if we do that now, be sent off. But no, it should be fantastic. Need something, just something to get the crowd into it early, get stuck into them early. You know, good shot on goal. You know, just something to get the crowd going. We can do this. Enjoy the game, Darrell. You too, pal. And that's it, lads. We're going to leave you there. Thank you very much for joining us. We will be, have your say, we will be back live on a YouTube, back live on a Facebook channel about 5 or so minutes after kickoff. Maybe 5-10 minutes, just let things cool down. Have your say, as always, guys. Listen, enjoy the game. You never know. Come on, you boys in green. And praying to God, we can pull off a performance. It'd be fantastic. Anyway, I will see you guys straight after about 5 minutes. And yes, I'm looking for the video. I can never get it right. But anyway, I'll see you after the game.